Hi, welcome back to another video feature of the Immersive Worlds Handbook. I'm back at Expo 2015 in Milan, specifically taking you through the Azerbaijan Pavilion, which for me was one of the most interesting pavilions in terms of how it utilized its exterior architecture to highlight some themes that you find in the pavilion on the interior. One of the interesting things about this architecture was that they constructed these different climatological zones that reflects both the country's biodiversity as well as its cultural diversity. So it's constructed on 3 levels, as you'll see in my video tour through the pavilion. It has 3 different biospheres. The first one is focused on geographical landscapes and suggests a crossroad between cultures and countries. And one of the themes of the Azerbaijan Pavilion is that Azerbaijan is a crossroads of many different cultures, of different nations as well. The second of these biozones or biospheres focuses on 9 geographic climate zones of Azerbaijan. And then the third of the biospheres is focused on traditional culture and innovations and focusing on the future for generations to come. You can take a look at the queuing area that greets the guest as he or she enters the pavilion. And you can see you get to play a virtual traditional instrument, and this is one of many ways I think that the different pavilions at the Expo and their designers thought about keeping the guest comfortable and busy while he or she was waiting in typically long lines. And certainly this was the case at Azerbaijan, where people were so excited to come inside and look at these different biospheres that they had created for the guest. And we're looking at some additional interactivity that you get as you walk through the queuing area here at the pavilion. And an escalator up. We'll get a chance here to pan to the right and look at some of the features here. Again, a multi-level pavilion, so certainly a lot of opportunities to develop thematics, to develop interesting aesthetic and technological forms of interaction with the guests. You're going to see some directional speakers there, so certainly they use that technology here. We've seen that in more than a few pavilions here at Expo 2015. I think some of the design features you see on the right here with these flowers they've created, absolutely beautiful. I mean, some of the designs here are truly stunning. And a lot of interactivity and more information available to the guests, of course, with the various video screens that are presented here. Nice combination, I would say, of interactive components, traditional decor, design, and then also the video screens. What I think, some of the best designs I've seen in terms of combining multiple forms of presentation of information and aesthetics for the guest. Okay, and just up here you will see the sign that references this concept of the cultural crossroads. And we're seeing then in the distance there one of the unique biospheres that is visible from the outside. And again, I'd have to say that the way that they've approached this design, again, it works on the exterior and the interior. So on the exterior, it attracts the guest to the space, and it serves this function of offering symbolism, as you'll discover inside. And then when you're on the inside, you truly have this feeling that you're inside of a unique zone. And so I think it's a great way to create, in a sense, threshold effects within the pavilion space here at the Expo. And we're also seeing some of the outside views. It had remarkable views you could see of the crowds here at the Expo. A very busy night. And here you could see one of these zones and the tree of biodiversity, using a lot of the video screens as part of the design aesthetic, telling the story. You can see very popular pavilion. It was hard to walk around and capture any decent video really, but I was just amazed at some of the design approaches they took here in the pavilion. Really, really innovative and thoughtful. Okay, we'll continue then through the pavilion, and we're going to go up another escalator here, and you'll see a little bit of perspective of the pavilion as we go up. The dramatic biosphere on the right, And then up another level. And you see the other biosphere here. And you can also get a glimpse here. There's more interactive things going on, even on the floor. So, I mean, it's very, very innovative design. Certainly, I would say up with Russia, Spain, in terms of the use of video in different contexts and in giving the guest different experiences and combining the natural with the technological, which is, I think, one of the things you see so strongly at a World Expo as opposed to, say, a theme park or even a museum. It's really an opportunity, I think, for guests to see some new and exciting hybrid forms of presentation of information, aesthetic content, and the like. Here's another example we've seen in many pavilions, this hybrid approach to a natural form, and then inside of it you have the technological interactive. I probably saw this in 10, if not 15 different pavilions. This was one of the more impressive ones. Again, some of this really does allow the guest to get that sense of exciting interaction with the information. And you see another example here. And this floor was chock full of this kind of technology that was really hands-on. And as you can see, the Azerbaijan pavilion is somewhat self-paced, certainly very busy, but this, I think, allowed the crowds to disperse just a bit because of the fact that you could go at your own pace, and there are 3 levels of things to see at the pavilion. And now we're going to go through another one of the biospheres. Try to walk around here. This was a bit of a challenge. Great views here, but unless there were, say, 5, at most 10 people, you really couldn't maneuver around. Again, I thought just wonderful views of the crowds at night, but the challenge was trying to queue through all the people who wanted to also look out at the crowds and enjoy the amazing pavilion here. But just remarkable views they created here through this very open use of the glass and the architecture here at the pavilion. And the last experience I want to show you is something you may have seen earlier as we were walking by this part of the pavilion. As you can see here, they're asking us to become the protagonists of a unique experience. And this is very similar to maybe what you recall we saw in the Egypt pavilion, where you could have yourself projected on top of a historical virtual market. So in this case, the emphasis is on traditional cooking, and you can see some people there. The idea was you would stand in front of this, and you would be part of this culinary roundtable. And it's immersive and interactive, and it also is informative. As you can see on the left there, you can learn about some traditional recipes. So I thought one of the cooler experiences at the pavilion in terms of giving the guest something interesting and innovative, and certainly fun for the whole family in terms of looking at this and marveling at the interactivity of it here at the pavilion. So I hope you enjoyed this video feature today here at Expo in Milan at the very interesting and technologically innovative Azerbaijan Pavilion. Please come back for additional video features of the Immersive Worlds Handbook.